Are we mourning the death of Winnie Madikizela-Mandela, or are we celebrating the life of Winnie Mandela? What are we doing? My own choice is that there's no reason to mourn, because Mam Winnie has done everything that should be done by a human being. He has done everything. Now, we're going to again attend the celebration. The celebration, abantu abatsha bayidibanisa nokujive. Kuba ucelebrate kufuneka uquluthe omnye phezu komunye. That is not what celebration is all about. This celebration is that we should acknowledge Ubuti, who Winnie defied all odds from a very young age. Utuma Mandombela, why social work? No, she was not just a social worker. She was a medical social worker. Yeah. Now, she was the first black medical social worker. That is the first defiance of the odds. Today, liberation of Mama. Standing over, oh Mama must invade a space that was actually reserved for men. They were liberated. But because we invaded that space, they attacked. We invaded a space that was reserved for white social workers. We are going up. We defy the odds. Now, and I belong at the Lord, the social worker, the was as underminer today. When you say you want to be a social worker as a profession, it's a commitment to serve. Social workers are never driven by the desire to earn a lot of money. They're driven by the desire to serve. That's why they get satisfaction from counseling those who are in trouble. Now, that is Winnie. And what she gets is satisfaction. Satisfaction. And she got married to a very imposing character. A decision Yoktandana itself was a big decision, because she got married to the trouble itself. That decision. That is a major decision. It reflects the character of the person. Now, that is the reason. But we trouble immediately. What Winnie did was to refuse. She refused to be dwarfed in the shadow of Nelson Mandela. She imaged as herself. Last week, Mandombela, I arrived in the hospital just after her soul left. When I arrived there, I separated. That's it. And I closed the chapter. That's why I'm not crying. Because Winnie didn't treat me as a leader. She treated me as a child. But when she must respect me as a leader, she accorded me that respect. But when she had to scold me as a child, she did that. And that's why the first message I issued about her, I said, Winnie was one of the most outspoken leaders of the ANC. Ethethinto ngalendlela ayibona ngayo. Yabona ke namhlanje kwenzeka into engumhlola. I-characters kaWinnie zonke ziya-reflected. Utabangu lapha unikwa i-10 minutes, uthatha for 20 minutes. Winnie ke lowo. uMantombela ungena budala siqhuba apha uyangena uMantombela nguWinnie lowo. Now I always tell people that when people pass on, their characters reflect, those characters reflect in us, the living, because we close the eyes of the dead and they open the eyes of the living. Now, and she grew to be a political leader on her own right. Winnie is not a leader because she is the wife of Nelson Mandela. Amabulu wanted to subdue her. The opposite happened. Brandfort. I'm working with the mines. The mines is called Brandfort. Now I thought it's one of those Brandfort. Yabona in Osha or in Osha apology on 2 counts. Yabona must ufuneka kasikhokhela apha, we must own up for a mistake ezenzekileyo. Eyokuqala mistake kukuba sibe nalandu kaWinnie sivumba mayibe yi-monument, mayibe yi-heritage site, sirhuqa inyawo, and that thing does not happen on time. We owe you an apology for that. Now, when I was coming here, I went via that house, and then the leadership Yalapa gave me all the stories. Nilikuwa hayi kasiyaka ngoku kuzawuthiwa siyayaka because Winnie uhlokafetsi. But it's fine. I always say to people, if that is the reason to build it, let's build it. That's it. That is the first apology for SN Owishayon SB. When I was deployed here, people kept quiet. Last night they phoned me, but they are commands for 3 weeks. Now, when I arrived here, they were Mabamache. Siyasabeza pango utesiti. Yabona ku premier wase Free State. Yabona mosmando akayikona nibungu premier. Usafuna umobilize abantu akhokele imatch ngokwakhe. Uzumantombela mobilize no. Now Mantombela kuzofuneka uzireceive eza memorandum. Zizawuza kuwe. When I arrived here, I asked the question, where is the MM Yalapa? Municipal manager. Lapitala call, Ndiamansi. Then he could ask good technical teams. Dabuza, where is the mayor of this place? Go to her. Hi. Mayor, we are good. Now, they don't go in the wrong. Wrong. We're here. She must force us and own up with a man's ageko. Part of Lungisa takes 3 weeks. That is inefficient in this day and age. Ugundo Egutwa, he just in time. Just in time. Uguba for a pipe, just in time, nobody pipe will replace immediately. Now, Gabdwa Uglungisa. La pump is Salamanzaba takes more than 3 weeks, it means. Kaungaya kwistorums kamasipala zongekho zazipuphatsi. Si-osha abantu balapha ke i-apology ngaloo nto. They're apologizing. Now, you see, since her passing on, Mam Winnie, I listened to many stories about her. What people didn't describe, Tabang almost did that. Tabang, okay? We describe Winnie was in the belly of the beast, up, facing the enemy face to face. That makes a big difference. The generals are sitting in headquarters and develop a war plan. Then the commanders must adjust that war plan in the operation. Winnie was in that situation, and therefore it will be unfair of all of us to try and find fault in what she did. We must appreciate what she was in the war zone, commanding our forces. Kula process, there will be victories and mistakes, there will be setbacks and other victories. Now, if we understand that, negativity about Winnie will never be there. People will understand Winnie. She was in the belly of the beast. Now, and once we understand, we're going to appreciate Winnie. You know, in 1986, when there was an incident, the methane gas killed 177 mine workers in one day. Nobody came. So, mine workers says to one side, Wafik away. When was funded a basic lesson. This is not just an accident. It reflects the brutality of capital and capitalism as a system. Saibamba, ngela sayigcinela ngokuthi capital ayinamisi. The capital is brutal. The capital can do anything. Either 177 as if nothing has happened. Why repeat a visit when there was a disaster up at St. Helena, Evelcom, wafika Winnie ngenyawo zakhe. Now, I'm taking her out of the normal terrain, abantu abamazi kuyo. Ukuthi Winnie was going across terrains, immobilize abantu for a command, ekhutshwe Oliver Tambo, to make South African government and apartheid institutions unworkable. Now, that is a command, a decision. So Winnie went across, yabona ukungaya pa eGauteng, uye kwindawo kuthiwa ngoPaula Park, or Winnie Mandela, or Ramaphosa, the informal settlement. Nobody is more known and respected there more than Winnie. Because Winnie was in the belly of the beast. Now, we must appreciate the belly of the beast. You take decisions on your feet. Now, you can't be penalized for a mistake. You must be recognized for the risk you take and your ability to come out of that situation and lead another skirmish. That is Winnie. Now, yabona sifika pa eDurban, akuanibhenu ANC, safika pa. Safika pa, kukho big debate, irresisted by the Free State. convoked on Terral Court, well up. The rest of the decision over. Abafazi must be 30% in any elected structure of the ANC. Fingerprint is going is prominent, Jabonaka, Ule campaign, by win Abafazi. But for 30%. By news and later, about 50%. Now, Baba Sabe for 50%, about 50%. Can Mama Laban wins with it 50-50, about but oh mama, at least 50%. The one must do at least means if it is more than 50%, well and good. But it must not go below 50%. That's what at least means. I can tell you I was Secretary General of the ANC for 10 years. Ubufuna yazi impact yalo decision. Yibone kwi-list processes. Ukhetho babe baninzi, wale sekhetho ufanele baninzi lamadoda. Ubone kaswathoba phangalanisi women, zebra women, men. Anwina amadoda. Now, you will never understand that until you begin to appreciate who was involved. Yabona, ngoku omama. Bakala banyapela bafuna enye into yokuthiwa yi-woman president. That is omama kakhulu abasikela. Basika isandla esi, banyuke, bathathe ingalo. Once ubanike ingalo, baginya kwa wena. Omama. Now, I'm one of the people who argued against this. I even don't know a woman president in the ANC. The woman president is in the Women's League. Papa is fully president, the ANC. Male or female. Now, they beg a line. See, I use a galon number, their campaign and galon class. But they woman, yes. There's one thing that I want to leave women with. Akukho nenye uchairperson we-ANC we-province ongumama. That is an anomaly. Not one. 9 chairpersons of the ANC in the province are all men. Then governors appoint the premiers. Ivele le debate. Mnandavandoba, you're going to work harder. Because niyeka kwi-structures ze-ANC ningakhetho mama to lead structures of the ANC nifuna ukunikwa i-premiers. No, ndingenani phezulu neconference nalapha e-Free State ndiwajongela amadoda afolileyo pha maninzi amadododo bayepho mama. And as we win a battle, Nilwa gave premiers. Yaniaga, the one I asked for Montomer, Simnega, Abbey Premier of Free State, the Montomer. The one the girl, they only to see matches about Upatego. Now, but I can tell you, nobody will say this, I can say it. Basim Jongas, Governor Mantombe, he conduct Jeka Ace. He dwarf as a the phone from Tule House and Zalando. Now, over them celebrate a win. If never Sukbone goes aside. Ukoke. Ubanga abafika lamadoda maningi amashini nabanye uwacela ukuthi no, that decision. Now uba yenzekanga loo nto asimcelebrate uwena. Secondly, We can't celebrate Winnie sit divided. Ubangaba, she says CR ne NTZ, we're far from it. We're far from it. Because again, go get a representative with Bizanga. It gets to a committee, hey, let's CR brigade, Yashu. DBs, the Daya CR brigade, the members, the ANC, the Kogan. We book in the Kogan, a CR brigade. Because Ganishari CR no NTZ, you are neither representing Cyril Nongosaza, Nenzezeno, Neze factionalists. But still in factionalism, wherever it manifests itself, ukuze sibe ne-ANC strong. Yabona ke ama-comrade whether I appreciate ukuthi to reinstate trust ANC among the people, we must not just talk about fight against corruption and state capture. We must be seen to be fighting it. Yabona enye indlela funeka siyilungise reputation, inflation of prices in projects. For the project 2 million, each 50 million. Uba ngayijongona man. The project is 2 million. The 2 million the project, but it's 50 million. Now, the ANC must go back, and that's going to go overnight. Plus, I appreciate it, and that's going to go overnight because he entrenched. I'm a minister for 43 days now. The minister for 43 days. Now, we are going to get the figure. Forget department. Tinijisutai, the figure Panumutai, Amato, Olum Nagagos. I'll figure up a more official of Samba Nina. I will tell you, man, that I'm out to have a visit. It's suspicious, but I don't have a mouth. And I discovered it very early. I cannot shambi now. Bafunulane. Bakwenzakalisa. Now, I'm now warning Mandombe. And Mandombe, they figure up. When they figure up, go to a minister. Figure out what tax we balega cool. But Nancy ML. Today, ML comes. Today, I'm going to call ML. And he phone it. Bapumenja, Babui. There's the Nemesis E-class. Today, and the phone. Bapume, there's the nature. The man, the Bashas apart and busy meeting now. Busy old teacher, don't make illeaders the ANC speak media for wrong reasons. So then what was safe, a comfortable, a right, Ninga Sifagema Pepe by accident. So I'm raising this because if we are going to celebrate Winnie would have loved to see ANC a clean governance. ANC free of corruption. ANC enganikezeli responsibility of governing. Winnie law. And if we are going to do that, we'll be very, very much celebrating her life. Now, I want to make this point. Yabona, who's a sequaz, Comrade Mandombe, we premier. Who's a squad? when we deal with corruption and state capture, we must remove faces of the people. The corruption is an act. The state capture responsibility of private citizens. It's not you, it's an act that we're condemning. Because in the process of saying Silwa Nobani, when you are accusing that person of corruption. When I was ANC must be united. ANC will win the election next year. Abantu bakuthi bane hope. Abantu bakuthi babuyisa trust yabo. Kodwa there is the flip side of that hope and trust. Yenye into dangerous kakhulu ekuthiwa expectation. Abantu bakuthi bafuna expecta ukuthi will act decisively with the necessary speed. If we don't do that, they are going to be disappointed. If they're disappointed, they turn their back on us. So masingati imuti right to celebrate imuti right abantu bakuthi bane hope abana hope yokuba izinto zawulunga overnight bane hope yokuthi ANC is going to do the right thing with the necessary speed. That's why ngiqale nge-situation yalapha ukuthi uba ngaba amanzi ayavalwa for 3 weeks, we're destroying that hope. Ufuneka amanzi avaliwe, ubavalwe for 2 days, that's long. Sebantwini sibaqala amanzi avalwe for 2 days, we're working on it. Then we're reinstating ANC to the people. But uba siyahlala nje sibe laid back, abantu balinde forever, amanzi angafiki for 3 weeks, funeka siyazi ukuthi actively we're destroying that hope, we're replacing life expectation with resentment. That's why kufuneka kakhulu wrong in an area sizenze political work siyilandelele. I'm here today. I will be phoning every day. And after a week or two, the guys will drive into the depot without announcing. So that there was a single man, different started trip, Sagakule China, China, Magasina Rwanda. Up in Rwanda. We are born into consequence management. Whenever you don't do what you committed yourself to do, there must be consequences. Abantu bakuthi will reinstate their trust to the ANC. We must just work harder. Santana Mambalap, Santana Mamasa Free Start. The province central. You can infect 4 provinces immediately. I mean, are they 4? It's KZN, it's Mpumalanga, it's Northwest, it's the Northern Cape, it's the Eastern Cape. 5, AS6, any province of Lesotho hang up. Province here today, essentially. But also wahola social grants honamo. So tabena na hii but also wahola social grants honamo. Now, if Free State must appreciate its centrality, ye location and the impact as abanayo on other provinces. That is the task as in Shanghai. We must celebrate in life ka Winnie. We must not mourn. Yabona ngihlala phansi ngoku ake ndathi ngenye igame ndathi jonga lapha madoda mhla kwabhubha mna ndifuna ichaos in my funeral and ndawacela amakhulu uba yikho ni-organize chaos. If I die, I want chaos in my funeral. If I go, organize it. If funeral I never mkhulu yabona umkhulu wam funeka kube order yakhe kubekho ne-quartet nentoni mkhulu funeka kube kwi-riot uprogram director axakane nabantu enyingena ngapha ikhulu enyingena ngapha ikhulu. Then you must know that you are in my funeral. I suspect that week at Soweto, the weekend, that is going to happen. Because you can't have a funeral that way in order. It's just not possible. The character of the person will be reflected in the funeral that way. There's nothing wrong. It goes.
Manja, viva National Chairperson, viva!